girl next to you just looking good. I would honestly, I know it sounds really weird, I would love for that.
Okay, we're good.
So I'm Ukrainian, both of my parents are from there. So I grew up in the UCTV here in Connecticut.
Sarah, what is your favorite
Rock.
Guess what? We racing tuition. Mrs. Hurst, didn't we just get the billion? Yeah.
Do you love me too?
Well, they call them milk duds. But it's chocolate and caramel.
Oh. Is that what you got for Halloween?
No, I got it in the office. Anyways.
Okay. Hello and welcome back to the UConn Tonight Show. I'm your host, Tony Tyson.
And I'm your co-host, Brian Higgins.
And here's what's new in the news this week. This week, Liverpool became the first city in the world to open a fast walking lane on sidewalks. Meanwhile, Storrs, Connecticut became the first city to open crosswalks wherever you feel like it. A woman in Omaha, Nebraska was rushed to the hospital on Halloween night after she broke into a zoo and tried to pet a tiger who ended up biting her left hand. A sad ending for someone who was just trying to do some research on their sexy tiger costume.
A tutor at Notre Dame University is accused of pressuring her students into having sex with her daughter, who is also a student at the school. A further investigation has revealed that it was part of a deal in which the mother convinces students to have sex with her daughter, and in exchange the mother also has sex with those students. An abused alcoholic monkey in Chile has reportedly beaten his alcoholism through a series of antidepressants. The monkey says the antidepressants helped, but he owes his true recovery to his one true Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And that is the best joke that you will hear all day.
Presidential candidate Ben Carson has released a new hip-hop-centric radio ad to appeal to minority voters. The campaign is sure to be a success because nothing screams hip like an old Republican doctor trying to rap. Speaking of Ben Carson, footage from a 1998 commencement address was unearthed this week, in which the candidate claims that the Egyptian pyramids were not used to hold dead pharaohs, but to store grain. Keep a lookout for Ben Carson's upcoming history book. The Great Wall of China was just a big water slide.
According to a Marvel comic book artist, Disney is planning on wiping out Princess Leia's iconic slave bikini from all future merchandise. The news has been met with outcry from 12-year-olds' erections everywhere. A recent study in the Journal of Experimental Biology has proven that kangaroo farts are not as environmentally friendly as once was thought. What? Said everyone.
A Singapore Airlines plane was forced to make an emergency landing this week after the farts from over 2,000 sheep set off the plane's smoke alarm. The story is that it was the 2,000 sheep, although the co-pilot Frank had Chipotle for lunch, so you never know. A recent investigation has shown that the Pentagon has paid more than $6 million in the past 4 years for sports teams to stage large-scale patriotic events. Truly disgusting that people would only say or do patriotic things for money. I expect better from a great, amazing, beautiful country like America. A country that allows me the freedom of speech to say how amazing it is. Can we have our money now?
Televangelist Pat Robertson said this week that gay people should have to wear brightly colored clothes to distinguish them from straight people. And not just one color, Robertson said. They should have to wear rainbows. They should have to walk through the middle of town so everyone can see that they're gay. Yeah, like a parade or something. Texas Representative Louis Gohmert said in a speech last week that Congress should put 2 gay couples on an island and 2 straight couples on an island and see which one nature favors more. An interesting argument, but it turns out nature is actually just what Louis Gohmert calls his penis.
An 85-year-old Australian woman shredded $1.1 million before dying in an attempt to spite her heirs. "You'll get this money over my cold, dead body," she said to her cats. A London man and his girlfriend had been caught trying to smuggle items into a nearby prison. The items included a bottle of vodka, a chocolate egg, and a McMuffin. Many think this is a ridiculous assortment of items, but if I was in prison, I wouldn't believe there was all-day breakfast day either.
A petition on Change.org has been created by music fans to stop Phil Collins from returning to music. When asked about the petition, a spokesperson from the website said, "It's fine. Most of our petitions involve stopping Phil Collins from doing things." This week, the city of Bridgeport, Connecticut elected Joe Ganim, a former mayor who had served 7 years in prison for corruption charges. Ganim won most likely because he could connect with the citizens of Bridgeport, most of whom were in prison with him.
President Obama on Friday has rejected the proposed Keystone XL pipeline, while Chad Jefferson of Storrs, Connecticut has approved a Keystone Light pipeline into his mouth. Sweden is telling European refugees to go to other countries because the furniture store IKEA is running out of beds. IKEA has been providing furniture to local authorities who in turn have been trying to get refugees to leave by having them try and set up IKEA furniture. Well, we have a great show for you today. We have representatives from her campus and UConn Athletics, followed up with performances by UConn Poetic Release. Stay tuned for more UConn Tonight Show.
Yes, I'm certain that it happens all the time. What do you see when you turn out the light? I can't tell you, but I know it's mine. Oh, I get by with your help from my friends. I get high with your help from my friends. Oh, I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Need someone love. Oh, could it be anybody? Oh,
Hello and welcome back to the UConn Tonight Show. I'm one of your co-hosts, Brian Higgins, and with me is Sarah Levine, president of her campus. Sarah, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, Brian.
All right, so start off, I'd like to get to know you a little, but we already know each other. This is for the audience, but I thought it would be fun if we did this in newlywed game format. You know the newlywed game?
Yes, I do.
I've written down my answers for your questions right here.
Okay.
So, Sarah, where are you from?
Wait, I actually tell you the answer?
Yeah, I already wrote down
Okay.
what I think your answers are.
Bloomfield, New Jersey.
And I said somewhere in New Jersey. Somewhere in New Jersey.
Fair.
Fair. All right. And now, how long have you been writing for her campus?
3 years.
I said 4 years.
Close.
4 years?
but
Close. All
that's
right.
good guess.
Sarah, what is your favorite animal?
A giraffe.
So it's not a buffalo? It is not a buffalo.
No, but buffalo are pretty cool,
All right, okay.
as are buffalo wings.
Yes, they're delicious. Sarah, what is your favorite song right now?
Hello.
Okay, I said Get Low.
It rhymes.
Get Low, always a classic. Sarah, who's your ideal president of the United States?
Beyonce.
Lincoln Chafee is actually. You are huge.
Oh, I didn't know I had to pick from the actual candidates.
I'm just telling you. And lastly, and most importantly, who is your favorite UConn Tonight Show host?
Brian Higgins.
Brian. Oh my God. Tony, I'm sorry, you just didn't make the cut. All right, so tell us a little bit about what her campus is. What is her campus?
Okay, well, Her Campus is a national online magazine it's like aimed towards college women, and it was started by the founders when they went to Harvard, and so they started it there, and now it's ballooned out, so it's like their chapters at over like 300 universities in the United States, and they also have some in other countries like in Brazil, and I think there's some in Iceland also, maybe.
Ooh, Iceland. But UConn's is the best, right?
Obviously.
Obviously. So what is your job at her campus?
So it's called the campus correspondent, but what that basically means is that I'm the president and the editor-in-chief. So I communicate with nationals to make sure that we're meeting all of our requirements. I also edit all of our content, although I do have some group members that help me with that, and just focusing on our long-term goals and supervising our exec board doing different events and all sorts of things.
Oh, cool. And so you said you started writing 3 years ago? How'd you
Yeah.
get involved?
Well, I always wanted to join the organization ever since I heard about it because I'm a communication and journalism major, so it's like involved in the field that I'm interested in, and I thought that I would be good at it, so I just went to the meetings one day. It was actually a lot of a smaller chapter when I first joined.
So you're like an OG.
Kind of, yeah. And then I started writing. My first article was about tips for girls to not be scared to go into the weight room.
Nice. That's a good one.
Yeah, thank
That's a
you.
good article.
So it went pretty well, and then I just continued with it, and I eventually became the content director and moved up into now the campus correspondent.
Nice. Awesome. How do people get involved with her campus?
Well, it used to be that it was kind of just an open thing. People would just come in, but we had such a high amount of interest this semester that we had to do an application process that happens at the beginning of each semester. So we're going to be doing it again next semester.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
like kind of it's exclusive now a little.
Yeah, it has to be because we just have so many people.
That's not a bad problem to have.
Definitely not a bad problem.
Okay, so you've been writing for 3 years now. What is
Yeah.
your favorite story that you've written?
That I've written.
Yeah.
I wrote one, and I think, I don't remember the exact number, but it was like 50 things that all UConn girls can relate to. And that's my favorite just because it did the best. It got like 20,000 hits or something.
Wow. And that's a lot of things
Yes.
for every UConn girl to relate to.
Yeah.
That's a lot of things. Oh, sure. So you are you're a senior now, right?
Yes, I am.
All right. So are you also terrified about life?
Absolutely.
Okay. So do you have any plans for next year or?
Not concrete plans at this point. I'm definitely in the process of looking for a job in like the PR and marketing fields. And ideally, since I live in northern New Jersey, I want to potentially have a job in New York City so then I can commute from home for a year to save money and get
Nice.
started.
Get reacquainted with the parents.
Yep.
So you're from New Jersey. What brought you up to UConn?
My dad went here actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So that's why I looked here in the first place. I have some family up here as well.
Okay, so now we've talked about this before. Speaking of your dad, what is your favorite Bruce Springsteen song?
Born to Run. No, Thunder Road.
Thunder Road. Oh, that is a good one.
Born to Run.
I like that
is the OG,
change.
but,
I
yeah.
like that change because you went Born to Run. No, everyone loves Born to Run.
It really is
Thunder
Thunder Road.
Road.
Though. I didn't
I mean-
just
oh, no,
change
no,
it
no,
to
no,
not- to like be cool.
I know you didn't because you were like Born to Run. Wait, there's a better one on that album.
Yes.
Yeah, Thunder Road. How many times have you seen Bruce? Have you seen Bruce live at all?
Once, and it was when he was at Giant Stadium. Obviously, I live about like 15 minutes from Giant Stadium,
Oh, nice.
which is cool, but it sucks. But on Sundays,
Oh my God, I
'cause
can't
of
even
football.
imagine. Have
Yeah.
you ever seen the Giants?
no, I haven't. Tickets
ever
are
seen
so
the Jets?
expensive. No, my
Probably
dad's a
less
Jets
expensive.
fan, but I'm a Giants fan. So,
That's interesting conflict in the
yeah.
house.
But I saw Bruce there. It was really great. He was doing a tour like where each concert was focused on a different album. So obviously we got Born to Run. So
Oh
we
my
got the best
God.
concert.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so jealous of that. All right. What else are you involved in on campus?
I'm a member of Autism Speaks.
Oh, what is that?
It's again another thing that's a national organization with different chapters, and so we just work to raise awareness about autism spectrum disorders, and we also fundraise for autism research. And our big event is a 5K walk run that happens in the spring, and we raised over like $30,000 last year. So.
Oh wow, that's awesome. So it sounds like you're pretty active. Sounds like you're having a good time.
I try.
All right, I think that's all the questions we have for you.
Okay.
Thanks for coming on, Sarah.
Thanks.
It was a fun time.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back with more UConn Tonight Show.
Hey, have you seen the UCTV guy?
No, I haven't seen him in a while. Hey, have you seen the UCTV guy?
Does it look like I know? How hard is it to lose a guy with a TV head?
Hey, have you seen the UCTV guy?
How naked do I have to get?
Have you seen the UCTV guy? Who? What? 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 He doesn't even go here!
Hello and welcome back to the UConn Tonight Show. I'm your host, Tony Tyson, and my guest today is Roma Romanov, president of the Ukrainian Student Association. Roma, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
And from my understanding, this isn't the first time you've been on the UConn Tonight Show, is it?
Yep, so it's not the first time I've been on here. I was on here last year doing an interview with representing the undergraduate student government with the President Claire Price and me as Vice President.
Thank you for coming back on the show. It's
Thanks
great
for
to have
having me.
you. So, Roma, I understand you're also part of the Ukrainian Student Association. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Sure, so the Ukrainian Student Association is just a group of students here at UConn. We're a cultural association, and we do different things ranging from, just having Ukrainian movie nights to having a night where we make culture, like Ukrainian food and things like that, and it just provides a space for people who have either interest in the Ukrainian culture or some association, to gather and learn more about it.
Okay, great. So when do you meet regularly?
So we don't really have regular meetings. We kind of go with the flow with whatever events we're having, but we do have a really active Facebook page,
Okay.
the Ukrainian Student Association at UConn, and we post all our meetings and everything on there.
Okay, that's great. So how did you get involved with the Ukrainian Student Association?
So I'm Ukrainian. Both of my parents are from there. So I grew up in the Ukrainian community here in Connecticut, and I knew that the Ukrainian Student Association was started a few years ago by some students here, so I knew immediately that I wanted to join when I got here.
Okay, and I understand you're now the president of the association. How'd you rise up the ranks to that level?
Yep. So it's just I've just always been really active in the different things that we do. My freshman year, I helped organize a panel on the crisis in Ukraine. This is when a lot of the protests and things started back there. So just being really active, and being involved.
That's great. So are there any events that the Ukrainian Student Association has coming up soon?
Yeah, so actually on Monday, November 16, at 6 p.m., we're having a Ukrainian movie night at the Conover Auditorium in the Dodd Center, and we'll be screening the film Winter on Fire, which is about the protests that happened in Ukraine in 2014 regarding first, it was regarding the agreement with the European Union that Ukraine was supposed to sign, and then they turned into protest to calling for the impeachment of the current president. So it's a really well-made documentary. It's a Netflix documentary, and it was very well reviewed. So it should be a good movie.
Good man. That's cool. So can you, for those of us who are not really familiar with what's going on in Ukraine, can you give us a little bit of a background on it? We're not looking for the full synopsis of everything that's happened, but just tell us a little bit about it.
Sure. So a lot of things started from there was an initial agreement proposed, a trade agreement that was supposed to be signed with the European Union, and then the government backed out of that, and that caused massive protests at the Capitol, and there were a lot of students and a lot of activists who were there. The protests soon turned to have a different sort of aim when police were accused of basically attacking protesters and different things like that. So then the protests turned into something bigger, calling for a complete reorganization of the government, and the president was kind of overthrown, and the new government was established. And now the new government is fighting factions in the east of Ukraine that are backed by Russians and Russian separatists. So there's just a lot of conflict, and this movie kind of gives you the information about how all this started and how everything led up to this point.
That's awesome. Especially since I heard that I saw this episode of the Daily Show, where I guess the director for the movie came on the show and he was talking about the movie as well. It gives also another background of it as well. And it's a really interesting, really hard conflict to understand, and really you have to feel for the people there because there's a lot going on over in the Ukraine.
Yeah, definitely. And, this is a good opportunity for students to learn more about what's going on.
Well, thank you so much for coming back on the
Thank
show
you.
again. Thank you. All right. And we'll be back with more UConn Tonight Show.
My name is Justin Scott, JJ for short. I like spoken word poetry, the Fugees, eating dinner at midnight, and long walks on the beach. A few months ago, I turned 18. My favorite color is green. It's nice meeting you, family. It's a pleasure to introduce myself. I've heard a lot about you all. I've watched you through someone else's eye socket. This rocket was bound to burst. I am not new here. I have been snaking myself into shedding slowly. I have been peeling flake by flake, scale by scale, and though you don't see me just yet, I want you to know that this process still hurts. Every day is an incubation period of growth, and I am outgrowing what I was given. This skin so thick, organs so grand, and I am so heavy. I am 18 tons of unorganized angst, fidgety outbursts of whining wants, and an unforgiving search for my identity. Broad shoulders busy with caring and carrying, bro, I lift, I tug myself and drag this dead weight in hopes of shedding my taglines produced by outdated manufacturers. Every misgendered phrase that's uttered, my vertebrae becks a little farther down than it ought to. Every oral alert of those dreaded feminine letters and gravity wants more attention. I sink, I am so heavy, paperweight heathen. My stomps are spawns of earthquakes, dysphoria, and transphobia. Beware of newfound craters. I wanted to fall deep in the void of black nothingness, burn in the core of the earth, in the core of me. I am so heavy. I want to burn this weight off. So when you finally meet me, do not fear the fumes of my handshake. This phoenix effect isn't falsely accused. This is me being bruised, bullied by facts. All of this facts, pieces of nonfiction, and this is page 1. My name is Justin Scott, JJ for short, and I'm here, and I'm present. Read me, fill my pages, skim my chapters. You've always just known me by my cover.
Hello, hello, students of UConn. Thank you for all of the hard work that you've done. Thank you for all of the heart that you've all shown. Guess what? They raising tuition. Mrs. Herbst, didn't we just get $1 billion? Yes, but don't you see all the pretty stuff that we building? Fee bills keep going up. How long till they reach the ceiling? Well, I don't know. Maybe when they raise my pay to $1 million. With all them bonuses, it seems like they're condoning this. Higher education turning into the new corporate. Seems like they're just extorting us, sending their condolences. Instead of making what should be free a bit affordable. And maybe I'm just venting. Administrative pension consume most of the budget they present us. Evidently, most of us graduate and become indentured, paying off these loans until we wear indentures, praying about these loans until we got dementia. Shame is these loans enslave us to a pension. I'm praying that this poem can bring you some attention, cause this out of pocket's on a rocket, so please stop it.